Hi, welcome to this demo of IBM Spectrum Protect's File Restore GUI. This will be as of version 8.1.9. I'll be showing you some of the different options inside of this GUI to do different types of restores and how to gather the client logs. To reach the GUI remotely from any machine, use the HTTPS URL that points to the machine where your Spectrum Protect client and client acceptor daemon are installed on. And that has a port of 9081 and a endpoint of BA GUI, Backup Archive GUI. This could be a Windows, Linux, or AIX Spectrum Protect client. I'm assuming in this video that you've already set up the File Restore GUI and set up the certifications with the Spectrum Protect server. If you haven't, go ahead and check out the other video I have on installing and setting up this GUI. Log on with the node admin ID that you created and the password that's associated with that node admin ID. Also, if you do have a node admin ID that has multiple nodes associated with it, like for instance, if you're a help desk admin, and if there are multiple client acceptor daemons running on this machine, then you will get a drop down that prompts you to choose which client you're logging onto to restore files from. Notice in the top right hand corner it tells which node admin is logged on, which node is having files restored to from which Spectrum Protect server. The first restore we'll do is an individual file restore by browsing through the file systems. The GUI will load the backed up file systems directly from the Spectrum Protect server. These are backups only. You can click on these directories here to open up and see the different files that are inside of each of these directories, or you can choose an entire directory to do a restore from. So let's go ahead and click on this C directory. We'll drill down further into the directory, once again by expanding it. Once you get to the level you want to do the restore from, you can click on the little blue icon that's next to the backup version date, and that will move the file from the backup column over into the restore list column. For the individual file restores, you can select as many files as you want and add them to the restore list. If you accidentally add a file to that restore list that you don't want on there, you can click the X and that'll remove it from the restore list. And then once you're satisfied with the files you want to restore, you'll simply click on Restore button below. You'll see the restore process kicking off below underneath the restore task. Okay, you can see here that the file has been successfully restored. Let's go ahead and take a look at it in the file system. By default, it will restore this version to the original location. If that file still exists, it will rename the restored file to be appended with the original backup date of that file. Now I'll show you how to do a directory level restore. You'll either navigate to the directory by clicking on the path breadcrumb, or you can drill down directly into the various directories. Once you find that directory, you'll want to add it to the restore list by clicking on the blue arrow icon. And if you want to restore that to a different location, you can click on the options button. And then you have two ways to specify a different location. Either you type it in directly, and we will error check to make sure that path exists. Or you can browse and select through the browsing function where you want this directory to be restored to. With directories, if the directory already exists, we will not rename the directory. However, when we restore the files to that directory, if those files are in that directory already, we will append the date those files were backed up to the restored version. So you can see I've gone ahead and kicked off the restore. It is running in the tasks. I can expand the information about that restore and see the status, so how many objects have been restored and so forth. Next, I'll show you how to use the search function for restores. So first of all, go to the level you want to run the search from, so drill to that specific directory level. And then you can type in searches with different wildcards to match what you're looking for. So in this case, we're going to type in the star log, and that's going to bring up all of the backed up files whose name end in log. So let's go ahead and choose this specific backup version and add it to the restored list. If you want to choose other files, simply click on those and likewise choose which version you want to restore. That will add that specific version of the restore list also. This entire restore list will be restored as one task when you click restore. You can also do this search across all of the file spaces. So click on file spaces and then enter the search terms you're looking for. Notice that only 100 results will be shown per page. So you may have to click on the different pages in order to see all of the results. You can also order the results by either name or size by clicking on those column headers. Another search option you have is to search based upon the directory name. And you can do that by clicking on options and then do a search for directories and then type in the directory criteria. We're going to look for anything that has dir 01 in the name. Another thing to note is that if you do close the search option portion of this screen by clicking on options again, the results will no longer contain the search options you originally were looking at. Another search option for files is to search for a specific date range. So in this case, we're searching for all files, but we're going to specify a start date for when the files were actually backed up. And you can also optionally select a end date for when the date range is that those files were backed up. If a node admin logs out of this GUI, when they log back in, the restore task list will be preserved so that they can see the status of those restores. And this is true even if the restore was running when they logged out. By the time they log back in, they'll see the new status of that restore. Only if they click the X next to the restore task will that task be removed from this restore task list. Another thing that can be done from this GUI is the node administrator can request to download the system logs that include all of the Spectrum Protect backup and restore logs and option files. And they will have to first get permission from the system admin for this specific machine. And so in order to do that, that system admin would have to go into the Liberty folder and edit the tsmvm GUI/frconfig.props file. In there, they would want to remove the # in front of the enable_download_logs equals true. Next, the node admin needs to log out and log back in. And then they are able to download this zip file. You can see on the top bar that the file is being downloaded. Inside of the download folder, they will be able to see the download and actually click on it and unzip it. All of this information will be very helpful if the customer is working with support, trying to resolve some type of issue. So in summary, the client file level restore GUI gives node admins the ability to restore individual files or entire directories. It also gives them the ability to search for specific files or directories and the ability to download different logs that might help with a support case. Thank you very much.